The trial has begun, and that is the trial for Alec Baldwin. Probably when we think of the actor Alec Baldwin, we might imagine him on the big screen and playing a bad guy or a detective in a murder mystery. But this isn't a movie, this was a real shooting. Alec Baldwin is charged with the negligent homicide of Halyna Hutchinson. Welcome to the Roundup, True Crime with Mike. Here I give you update to current cases so you can quickly catch up on cases and legal issues. Views and opinions expressed are my own, and this is not legal advice. The first part of the day had some introductory instructions to the jury, followed by the 2 counts that Alec Baldwin is charged with. Let's hear the charges from the judge.
I'm going to reread the grand jury indictment. It's very formal, so we'll go with that. Count 1, involuntary manslaughter, negligent use of a firearm, in that on or about October 21, 2021, in Santa Fe County, New Mexico, State of New Mexico, at Bonanza Creek Ranch, located at 545 Bonanza Creek Road, Santa Fe, NM 87508. The above-named defendant did cause the death of Halyna Hutchins in the commission of negligent use of a firearm. Count 1 in the alternative, involuntary manslaughter, without due caution or circumspection, in that on or about October 21, 2021, in Santa Fe County, State of New Mexico, at Bonanza Creek Ranch, located at 545 Bonanza Creek Road, Santa Fe, New Mexico, 87507, the above-named defendant did cause the death of Halyna Hutchins by an act committed with the total disregard or indifference for the safety of others, and the act was such that an ordinary person would anticipate that death might occur under the circumstances.
So there are 2 parts. 1, negligent use of a firearm killing Halyna, and 2, acting in a gross negligent way that an ordinary person would know that the action would result in a death. First up was the state's opening, and let's hear the first part.
With a real gun in a real life workplace. And while playing make-believe with that gun violates the cardinal rules of firearm safety, people's lives are endangered and someone could be killed. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what this case is about. It's simple, it's straightforward. The evidence will show that someone who played make-believe with a real gun and violated the cardinal rules of firearm safety is the defendant, Alexander Baldwin. You will hear over the course of the next few days that in the fall of 2021, a movie called Rust began filming at the Bonanza Creek Ranch just south of Santa Fe in Santa Fe County. You will learn that this movie was a Western with a lot of gun action. And while it was a movie set, it was a real-life workplace for many people. But you will hear this workplace was on a tight budget. And you will learn that some of the people who were hired to work at this workplace were very inexperienced. And one of those was the armorer, a very young woman named Hannah Gutierrez Reed. You will hear testimony from crew members who worked on the set, who will tell you that to them, Ms. Gutierrez's inexperience was obvious.
So in her mind, it's a simple case where Alec was acting with a dangerous weapon while playing pretend. There was no regard for safety, and this was demonstrated over the actions of everyone on the set, especially Hannah Reed, and just the overall disregard for safety as indicated by live fire problems that happened prior. We then get to the defense, and here is the start of their opening statement.
No crime. He was an actor acting, playing the role of Harlan Rust. An actor playing a character can act in ways that are lethal, that just aren't lethal on a movie set. These cardinal rules, they're not cardinal rules on a movie set. And I don't have to tell you much more about this because you've all seen gunfights in movies. And the reason that can happen is because safety is ensured before the actor. On this movie set, there were people responsible for ensuring the safety of the set and the firearm. Those people failed in their duties. But Alec Baldwin committed no crime.
So the defense will emphasize several things in their defense. One, that Alec Baldwin was acting as an actor. An actor gets in the headspace of the person they are playing, in this case, Harlan Rust. They are concentrating on what they have to do for the part, and it's not their job to worry about gun safety. That's other people's jobs. So once they are told the gun is cold, which means that there isn't a round in the gun, even one that makes noise, then they are good to go to focus on their scene. And second is that there is a chance that Alec never pulled the trigger, and that there was a chance that the gun malfired on its own. They are going to introduce an expert who says that he saw something that might indicate a problem with the gun, and that the FBI tech could have done tests without destroying the gun. And here is a clip from the scene that Alec was practicing.
I'm gonna go find some help.
I don't need no damn help.
You're gonna die if I don't.
He's wounded and on the run. Play again. Continue.
Harlan Rust. Need you stand up nice and slow, toss any weapons you have.
He's on the church pew, bleeding, his hand gripping the revolver. He would defend himself against the men in the movie. Play.
One more. You good? Ready? Harlan Rust. Did you get up nice and slow, tossing the weapons you have?
Well, how close can I get right there?
Joe, you want me to wait to give you that line till he lands?
Okay.
Till camera lands?
Yeah.
Yep.
7 minutes, one.
Yeah.
Draw your gun and look up and point your gun, okay?
Okay, which way? Camera right or left?
This side, for now.
So camera left for now. I'll stand right here for you, Alec. So whip it out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me get this all greased. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Okay, ready? Ready.
And set. Ready, and action.
Harlan Rust.
Something that was interesting was that the state did object 3 times in opening arguments by the defense. Something not normal. Not sure the impact or what exactly came from them, though. So the opening's finished, and we heard from 4 witnesses today. The first was Officer Nicholas LaFleur. He was one of the first officers who responded to the scene. I'm not going to show you the scene, but through his body cam we see Halyna on the floor of the church and being attended to. Then they talk about how a helicopter was ordered since Halyna had been shot through the chest and needed something quicker than an ambulance. An ambulance was used for Sousa. LaFleur's next responsibility was rounding up witnesses, and he was the one who sat with Baldwin during that time. It was chaos, and there was talk during that LaFleur heard it was Baldwin that pulled the trigger. However, with the stressfulness of the situation and the chaos, I'm not sure if there was too much to that. One thing that did come out was that LaFleur asked Baldwin not to talk to others, but on cross, Spiro got LaFleur to say it could seem like it wasn't a full police order. And on redirect, Morrissey was talking about how accidents themselves can be criminal even though they are accidents. Next up was Officer Benavidez. He was in charge of 7 officers that day. He went to the scene and he said it took him like 30 minutes to get there. Benavidez's main role that day was retrieving the gun from Hannah and putting it in his car. He also retrieved 2 boxes of ammo from the prop cart and put them in his car. We also saw pictures of how chaotic the prop cart was. There wasn't much on cross on Benavidez, except for trying to push the blame on Hannah and Halls, who was the assistant director. Third up was Officer Joseph Lujan. He was assigned to the patrol division, and he responded to the hospital a little after 2 p.m. that afternoon. He was notified that an ambulance arrived, and he later saw a gentleman on a gurney with a hole on the right shoulder, and that was Joel Souza. Lujan watched as the ER doctors retrieved the bullet from his shoulder and put it in a plastic container and turned it over to investigator Marissa Popel. Last up was crime scene tech Marissa Popel. We heard a lot from her in Hannah's trial. She was the crime scene tech. One of her responsibilities was putting all those numbered cards we see at crime scenes. Some were for blood, some were for evidence. But what Marissa was really known for was her discussion of dummy rounds. We learned that there are several ways to make dummy rounds. Drilling a hole in the bullet, removing the primer so that there is no firing mechanism, and last, putting like BBs inside so that you can hear a rattle when you shake the bullet. She talked about some of the bullets they found on the prop cart and later in the prop truck. She said she found 5 live rounds that hadn't been used and 1 shell casing that looked like it was from a live round. She said there was 1 unknown bullet in the prop truck. The bullets and the gun were sent to the FBI to investigate. The day ended there. So thoughts after day 1. I was surprised Morrissey didn't do the opening for the state. I think she is a little bit more animated. But most people thought that both sides lacked a little bit. I think the state stretched things a little with the biggest gun comment and with the play acting. The defense talked too much about the magic of movies, and that might be too much. But right now, I would only give it a 15 to 20% chance Baldwin is found guilty. As I said in the previous video, not having Baldwin as a producer certainly hurt the state because Baldwin is only seen as an actor and not someone who has more authority on the set. Please let me know what you thought about the opening statements in these comments. And if you like these videos and haven't yet, please check out my Buy Me a Coffee link below and donate to help. Thank you and have a good evening. Thank you for listening to an episode of The Roundup. Be safe out there, and remember, don't do anything bad that will end up on one of my episodes.